Good morning, guys. Dr. Corey here. It is episode 10 of your Monday Motivational Mastery sessions. And I'm just coming out of a massive weekend of camaraderie, of clarity building. We just got done with the 2017 Diet Doc Annual Owners Summit. And so we had a ton of people who converged here in San Diego at the Diet Doc headquarters for a weekend of learning and creating and challenge and business building and creativity. And so I really kind of wanted to focus on something that keeps coming up. Ironically, I walk into the building this morning and just automatically felt this sense of heaviness and a little bit of emptiness, like, oh, there was so much noise and energy here over the weekend. And while I'm tired because, we have to be on for a significant period of time, there is this feeling, a little bit of letdown. Like, man, we had all these people here and it felt very vital and energetic and there was so much enthusiasm. And while that hasn't gone away, it isn't here environmentally anymore. I get a lot of inquiries, and just recently have too, about the post-competition blues. And I have a client who just wrapped up this massive hike in the Grand Canyon that he had been preparing for months. Getting cardiovascularly conditioned, getting all of his gear together. He's got this massive vision about how he wants the entire trip to function and go down, and who all is going to be there with him, and the friendships that he's going to build. He's visualizing the experience, and you can look at this from multiple perspectives. My question to you is, have you ever felt that way? That sense of, ugh, like, now what? You get done with a big event. It's a race, it's a hike, it's a wedding, it's a birth. And while there are so many more things that are going to come down the pipeline as a result of the experience, sometimes the immediate experience for you is, now what? So I just wanted to go through a few key big ideas in terms of how you can move forward in a way that doesn't have you extending this long period of time where you're recovering. My client specifically, when we were talking, he said, yeah, we got done with the hike and it took me 3 days to, get my nutrition back on track, start exercising regularly again. And I just felt like I fell apart, and I had, it blindsided me. It hit me. I did not expect to feel that way at all. And this guy has been high motivation, high energy through his entire weight loss process. He did not anticipate that he would finish up, get through this massive and accomplish this massive goal, and that he would feel just so kind of let down and drained and asking, where am I going now? Where am I going to put my energy? And it's a very valid question. When we spend so much time planning, preparing, anticipating, visualizing, training, and then the event is over, of course it's like it's still an open loop, Now what? what are we going to do? Where are we going to put our efforts? Valid questions. So I want you guys to think about times in your life when you may have experienced this. And I'm going to give you 3 questions to ask yourselves that can help you decrease the gap between the experience, the outcome, and the recovery, right? So my client, he said, it took me 3 days. I'm back, but it really, like, I felt like I was spinning my wheels and trudging through quicksand to get back to what I knew were the healthy habits that needed to be in place. And so what we talked about was lessening the gap from 3 days to 2 days to 1 day to 12 hours to 6 hours to 3 hours to 1 hour to half an hour to 15 minutes, okay, to 10 minutes to 5 minutes, and getting to the place through practice. Remember, we have to be deliberate, okay? We have to be intentional if we expect something to change and become consistent. These are the questions. When you come out of an event like that, what's working? Okay, the event is over, but what was working during that entire process that I can carry into my normal environment again? What were my rituals? What were my healthy habits? What were my daily disciplines that really gave me a sense of groundedness that I can continue? You know, if you're coming out of a bodybuilding or physique competition and you were doing hours and hours of cardio, I hope that wasn't you, but if you were, then clearly that's not necessarily something you want to keep doing. Maybe it was working while you were prepping, but the goals shift a little bit, right? My clients' goals are shifting a little bit as a result of being done with this achievement, okay, and having all of his energy and effort revolving around it. So in thinking about a situation like that, he may not be training the same way. The competitor may not be training the same way, but training was working, okay? So look at it from a macro perspective also, not just the micro individual behaviors, but conceptually. Training was working. Training was a ritual. Training was something that these people could rely upon that gave them a sense of centeredness, right? So what's working? How can I continue on, utilizing those rituals? The second thing is, okay, it's done. What did I learn from it? How did this experience challenge me? How did I grow? Okay. How has it changed who I am as a person? How did it stretch me? Did it surprise me in any way? Were there things about the experience that I would have done differently? Were there pieces and segments of the experience that changed my perception in some way about myself, about my capabilities? So this is a generative question too, because this is going to help us move forward. It's a momentum building question. It's not a stuck question. It's not stagnant, and that's what we want to get away from. Just feeling like that heavy whoomp feeling and not knowing how to move forward. Then the third question is, how can I add a step now to where I am as a result of accomplishing this, right? Because we know once we've reached a certain skill level, okay, and we're implementing that skill and implementing that skill unless we up our game just a little bit more, all right? Unless we are stretching just a little bit higher, we're gonna maintain the status quo. And that's where we can fall into this place of boredom and listlessness. We can start to feel aimless. These are the words that I hear from a lot of people who are like, God, now what? I don't know what to do now, especially from competitors, people who are, you know, involved in sporting events and they've been gearing up for something that feels very monumental to them. So how can I take that next step up, add just a little bit of a new challenge so that I can stay galvanized, I can feel vital, I can feel energetic, and get out of the rut and out of that space where I just am spinning my wheels, getting out of that mucky, now what place. The thing is, if we're asking now what, like, let's just not let it sit there. Like, let's answer that question. Now what? Now what? Change the tone of the question and your whole energy shifts too. Now what? From that to now what? Because we've experienced something very positive. And so the other piece of this is being able to acknowledge all of the work, all of the effort, all of the consistency, all of the planning, all of the anticipating that went into this achievement. And then use all of those things, all of those acknowledgments, okay, to build another challenge for yourself. So guys, I have an entire teleseminar on this topic where I give you tips and tools and strategies and a new understanding of this experience. I'd love to give that away to you. It's got PDF notes attached to it. So click on the link below. You can sign up for my email newsletter and I'll send you, it's about an hour long. Listen to it while you're doing your cardio, okay? Listen to it while you're working out. Listen to it while you're driving. Listen to it while you're food prepping. But really take this into consideration because all of us are achievers, right? All of us we're gearing towards high performance living. That means we have goals. We have aspirations. We have things we want to accomplish. So understanding how to navigate the period post-achievement is really, really important. All right, guys, here's your Monday Motivational Mastery. Click on the link below. I'll send you the resources. Have an awesome day.